Hey everyone, welcome back to your week ahead astrology breakdown with me, Matthew from Stillwater Alchemy. Happy Aries season. How are we feeling with all of this fire energy now in the cosmos? The sun loves being in Aries. It's exalted in this position. This season, of course, represents that spring energy in the northern hemisphere of that new life, this new creation, this ambition. So how do we want to use this energy? Perhaps making some new goals, some new intentions. We just had that Virgo full moon to release everything that no longer serves us in terms of rules and structures that may be outdated, that were maybe never ours to begin with. So just some things to have in the back of your mind or on the forefront as we move in to this new energetic year. And I will say, with everything that's going on this week, there's some really amazing energies that we get to dive into, especially near the beginning, because a lot of times with this Scorpio moon that we experience, remember when we have the moon in fixed signs, it can be a little bit intense, to say the least. However, when we start off the week, Monday, March 21st, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we see the moon is directly opposing Uranus and she's making a square to Mars and Venus. However, there is a really nice silver lining here because the moon is making trines to Jupiter, Mercury, and Neptune. So for me, this is really leading with compassion, trusting your intuition, and not allowing external frenetic noise and nonsense get the better of you. So I'll give an example. A couple of weeks ago, I was at the dentist and I'm very cognizant of time. And that day I had clients back to back to back, and I had scheduled this dentist appointment for a certain time to be done by a certain time. And I get there and they're like, "Oh, you're so early. You're meant to come at this time." In my mind, I'm just like, showed them the text confirmation, showed them the email. The woman who was the receptionist was the one who helped me with the appointment time. And they're like, "Oh, well, the dentist won't be here until this time." And in my head, I was thinking I have to bump now every single client because if I'm late here. But then in the back of my mind, I knew that there's probably more than meets the eye here. The receptionist didn't seem overly happy in this environment. I'm like, it might be a temp job for her. There might be other stuff going on in her personal life. And she ended up making a personal call, which I couldn't help but overhear because I was the only one in the waiting room. And even the dentist had shared some qualms with her. So knowing that my intuition was correct and just sitting back and being like, this isn't something to get overly frustrated about or anxious about. The appointment went fine. The dentist that I saw was new. I loved his energy. He was a Virgo, perfect sign for a dentist. And so I met a new contact for a dentist, trusted my intuition, and all the client calls went well. So if you're feeling, especially today, that little thing can make you upset, maybe about relationships or certain people's opinions with that Mars and Aquarius, maybe global or community opinions, and you're like, this is not serving me. I'm going to let it go and not get frustrated or upset. And I'm just going to focus on me and intuitively channeling into what I know I need to be focusing on moving forward. So just again, be aware of external noise that isn't serving you. Tap in. This again, we've been talking about grounding. This is a time to bring it back into that beautiful Piscean gratitude, how we're emotionally wanting to feel throughout the day, even if, and this is a good practice just to have normally, but the day prior, to prime your day before you even wake up. So at night, giving gratitude to every appointment you have or a presentation or an interview or whatever it may be, so that when you wake up, you've already primed yourself. And that's just being like, I'm so grateful for X, Y, and Z before you go to bed. So when you wake up, you're blessed. And that could be even a good activity to do on Monday night. So when we move into Tuesday, we have some really nice energy moving. So especially if you are east of the Atlantic, you will have the moon making that trine to Neptune on Tuesday. And then we'll all experience the moon move into Sagittarius later on Tuesday, which then makes a perfect trine to the sun in Aries. So this is like this adventurous energy. Go out and have fun, move your body. If you felt the weight of Monday and all these emotions or all these irritations, like go have fun, go to your favorite restaurant, go for a jog, just do something that you can move this energy out of your mind through your body. This is a really good playful energy as well, especially when we move into Wednesday. The moon is then in Sagittarius, and she's making really nice aspects to both Mars and Venus in Aquarius, and that trine to Chiron. So it's kind of like I can overcome anything that I feel might be in my way. It might be your own perception of self or external environments. Like, no, I know I have the goods. I know I have the talent. I know I have the foresight to accomplish whatever goal I desire. I'm going to be moving through this energy and I'm going to come out of it really nicely on the other side. Use Wednesday to move through any blocks or restrictions, or just being like, I think taking that note, like we talked about on Tuesday, of having fun, of trusting the intuitive downloads, trusting in what you're meant to create, not getting distracted by other people, other opinions, especially worldly news or people in your community or even family. It's like, I don't need to necessarily take on that energy, protecting yourself. So intuitively you feel guided. So when we have this beautiful fire moon with the fire sun energy, you can play with it that much more. And we also have Mercury conjunct Neptune. So again, dreams in all senses, intuition, manifestations coming in really quick, especially with Jupiter right there. Like Wednesday can be a day where you persevered Monday and Tuesday of this week, or certain things have been manifesting since that full moon energy. Now it's just bing, bang, boom, and you have something to celebrate. So that's also what we want to do on Tuesday, is kind of prime ourselves for having fun and allowing this playful energy in to be in the receptive state. So when Wednesday comes, we can have really good news. Even like I think of Mercury as a messenger, Neptune, dreams, fantasy, illusion, a dream coming true, news of something manifesting, even our dreams when we're sleeping, of just being very vibrant or giving us that hope or renewal. Especially with Jupiter there, it's just like something blessed coming in, something that you want to celebrate. It's just kind of all very nicely aligned. Okay. So Monday can be a little bit intense with that Scorpio moon, focus inward. Tuesday, really paying attention to our intuition to move into a playful energy. Wednesday, really something nice, something to celebrate. Thursday can just be a little bit tricky because we have the moon making the square to Neptune and Mercury. And sometimes, at least I've been experiencing this on my end and having clients feel the same way. When the moon is making a tricky aspect to Neptune, it's like you're almost mad at nothing, or you're getting worried about something that doesn't exist. It can also be the flip side where you're building this huge fantasy or dream that has no foundation whatsoever. And it's just kind of like you're in your head and in this fantasy realm, but it's either something that you shouldn't stress out about or something that isn't real. So if you want to daydream and be in that environment, that's fine. But this can also be kind of going down like a rabbit hole on social media and comparing yourself and allowing your ego to go crazy. Or it's like you had this big dream come in and maybe someone else in your periphery or in your community also had something come in, but it's bigger. And you're like, well, why didn't mine manifest like that? Or it's like you were so happy the day before, but then you see something else and your ego is just in that comparison mode. So just be careful of this. It's like, just again, grounding. We don't want to be in this comparison mind state or allowing these beautiful blessings to just be diminished because we're now stressed or anxious. And sometimes too, it can be like we get everything we want. Let's say a whole bunch of money comes in, or we get a whole bunch of clients, or the person we like is like, yeah, I want to go on a date. But then you start second guessing it. You're like, oh, what if this goes away? Or what happens if I mess it up? Or what happens if my investments don't turn out well? That's very much this energy where it's like huge expansion on Wednesday. And then just be careful of self-sabotage or allowing your ego to take the reins on Thursday. Okay. It is nice because at least we have Saturn kind of helping the moon, being like, calm down, but the moon is making that separating sextile from Saturn. So it's still really much in the realm of this fantasy, illusion, news energy where it may or may not benefit you to the best of your abilities. So just moderate what you're taking in from the news and social media, and maybe some meditation, or even expanding upon what is real and what's not. So maybe if you have that fear or a moment of doubt or that what if moment, switching it in that presence of what if this is the best relationship I've ever entered? What if my money triples, quadruples with this investment? What if I achieve more success than I ever have before? So this could be a really nice challenge that if those energies come in, that you can really showcase all the hard work that you've done and turn it on its head and make it work in your favor, okay? So definitely Wednesday and Thursday is kind of like the climax of this week for sure. Once we move to Friday, this just seems like a complete 180. The moon is in Capricorn, making a trine to Uranus, where it's like, oh, we have some more grounded, pragmatic energy with Capricorn, and being like, why were we getting upset, or why were we having any doubt? It's like, we know that we have these systems at play. We know that we have the work ethic. We know we have the finances. Let's just go ahead and do it. Especially with the moon making that applied sextile to Jupiter. This is really nice in terms of some night faith or renewal, or just some positive energy coming in to help rebalance everything, or just help us get grounded in that, where we have the practicality and the vision to make this work. And especially with Uranus, that unexpected change, you can just be like I said, something that just helps you feel more stable, or you get really positive words of affirmation, or just a little cue from the universe, or even more money comes in. You're like, this is what I needed. Also, just intuitively with that Uranus and Taurus, checking on your nutrition, checking on your eating habits, making sure that you're getting proper nutritious foods to fuel you, to make sure that you're really in the right place. And the one thing I will say with the moon making that square to the sun, of just being aware of short-term gains versus long-term satisfaction. Again, with Aries, it can sometimes be impatient. And Capricorn is the complete opposite, where it wants to put in the hard work to set the foundation. So just being aware of that. And I think if you can have that in your purview, or having some goals that you are wanting to achieve right away and seeing how fast they can happen, but then other ones planning for the long game, that's a nice energy to work with on this Friday, and maybe help to dissect what you were feeling or going through on Thursday, okay? When we get to Saturday, so moon making that applied conjunction to Pluto, and then we also have the moon making sextiles to both Neptune and Mercury. So brainstorming, going inward, kind of like really mapping things out. It's like, okay, we're coming near the end of the month. We're now approaching this new year. What systems do we need in place? How are we going to go through this? How can we really work through these energies accordingly? It would also be nice too, just with anytime we have like a nice moon Pluto energy, and the moon is now making that sextile to Neptune, of spiritual work, inward healing. If you wanted to read your favorite self-help book, or having those passages or that content that help to inspire you and give you that extra push of motivation or inspiration, this would be a really good time to do that. Or you're just finding these breakthroughs on your own and really able to see, again, with Capricorn, the long game, discipline, how you've been a master of your resources, of time, and everything is really coming together nicely, where it's like, oh, dreams are coming true. And if I take myself away comparison, and even my crown is tingling, if we take away the comparison, we can just see individually ourselves how far we have grown and how much we have accomplished in this period of time that we've been cultivating and manifesting this energy in our lives. So this could just be a really good day for breakthroughs, inspiration, or some spiritual work that you get done. So if you've been feeling called to get, let's say, Reiki or hypnosis, or just meditating even further, this would be a phenomenal day to do that, to unlock some hidden energies that may be in store for you. And then Sunday, this is a really advantageous day if you use it wisely, in my opinion. So the moon is literally right about to enter her dark moon phase. So she's in that third quarter moon phase, which is all about releasing what no longer serves us. The moon is conjunct Mars. And so sometimes when the moon is next to a malefic planet, Mars or Saturn, it can be a little bit tricky in terms of how comfortable she feels. A big thing with Saturn ruled signs, Capricorn and Aquarius, is really talking about our boundaries. And especially with Mars here, it's like using our words, using our actions to make sure that we are supported, our dreams are supported, our community, our career, whatever we value most, and how we're giving back to the world, how we're giving back to the collective. So this might just mean that you need to have that conversation with individuals or establish new boundaries for yourself on how you use your time and your career to benefit you and other people. And also too, we have the moon making that sextile to Mercury and the sun. And Mercury just entered Aries. So we do see quite a stark contrast with now Mercury leaving the watery, emotional, intuitive Pisces and is now entering Aries, incorporating that much more fire energy in. So you might just be more brazen or more vocal or more adamant about what you want. And now with the moon in Aquarius conjunct Mars, it's like, okay, there's no more messing around. I know what I need to do. And it might just, again, be building off that momentum of the moon in Capricorn to really be more astute or diligent with your time and efforts and how you want to voice that with regards to your own autonomy, your content, in your career, in relationships. And we'll even get into this next week, but just a little sneak peek. On Monday, the moon will be literally conjunct Venus and Saturn. So if you're feeling like on Sunday that some conversations need to be had with either a mother figure, a feminine energy, or just with regards to how you address your feminine, divine feminine self with regards to rest and play, that's also coming through. So don't be surprised on Sunday if you're like, I just really need to talk to this person, or you might be the recipient of someone contacting you and saying, hey, can we have a chat? I want to talk about something. And so this is just an energy to watch. Again, I think it's really positive because we're moving towards this dark moon energy, but the moon is still technically in that third quarter phase where we are releasing and letting go and walking away from situations that no longer serve us. And that can also be certain jobs or commitments that you're like, this isn't actually what I want. I'm now focusing more on what I want to achieve individually, because again, it's Aries season. So really going through all of your energetic contracts, all of your relationships, and seeing which ones are aligned and which ones aren't. And also too, as a little kind of clue as to where this may manifest most for you, look at the houses that are ruled by Aquarius and Aries in your chart, and that may help you see where it's going to directly affect you over Sunday and then Monday as well. Okay. Boom. That's all. So I want to thank you all for watching, and thank you for all the feedback as well from the last deluxe week ahead astrology breakdown, where I did a 2-week format. It was kind of split in terms of what people like. Some people really liked having a 2-week forecast so they could plan ahead. Other people thought it was a bit too much information. They really liked a 1-week structure. So I'll keep playing with it. I do like kind of tuning in every week because then I can just share what I'm experiencing from my community and my clients and kind of share that so that people know that they're not alone in experiencing certain energies, or it's more current and up to date. And that's usually why I prefer personally the 1-week format, but who knows? I might also play around with the idea of doing a whole month of just doing like prominent days to watch out for, or like really auspicious transits and dates within the month. So it kind of gives that overview, and then go week to week to really dissect each and every day to kind of give intuitive downloads and see what else is coming through. So let me know if you like that idea. And again, with Aries season now in full effect, I'd also be curious in terms of other content you would like to see. There are certain things I want to start incorporating with regarding astrology and more information around that, and not just looking at the week to week, which I still love. But if there's anything that you're curious about or would like to see on this channel or content in general, please let me know in the comments. Now with this Aries ambition, pioneering, forging something new, I want to be sure that I'm honoring my intuition, but also serving my community at the same time. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a fabulous week ahead and start of your Aries season. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.